I've delayed going through here long enough. It's time to take care of those creatures that are in here. And there's one of them. Time to take care of you, and then the next one. And there's probably one behind me, isn't there? Oh, there is one behind me. This is not good. Not good at all. The sooner I take care of this one, the sooner I can run away. There we go. And it picked up my items. That is curious. I didn't know that they'd pick up the items that I leave on the floor. I'll have to remember that. Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Dungeon Hack, and when last we left off, I've no idea why I unequipped that weapon, because we've only just managed to escape past the area with those scaladars beyond the teleporter, and now I need to go to one of the other teleporters that's scattered around this area. And once again, Cure Critical critically disappoints me by healing not a lot at all. Cure Serious nearly healed just as much. We need to do a lot of healing. The only problem is that the longer we're here, the more the enemies on this level respawn. And we don't want the enemies on this level to respawn, because we'll then have to kill them again. And considering that most of them at the moment happen to be scaladars, that's bad. Those are items that we already had at one point that have been dropped after an enemy picked them up. We could be dropping items on previous floors so that they don't get picked up by enemies, but I'm not really bothered about that item being there, or rather the pile of items. We need to avoid that as quickly as we can, and then defeat this scaladar, because you never know, we might want to go back to that area that we were just in. I don't think we're going to, but we might want to. And that was a hit that we really didn't want to take, but that's okay, because we survived anyway. There is a teleporter over here, and there's also a teleporter there, but we know what is in that teleporter, or rather what's through it. Lots of doom. There are 4 enemies there, and I don't think I can take on 4 enemies, even if it's only 4 Ettins. And we know it's not 4 Ettins. There's this teleporter though, and we're going to have to go through here at some point. Why not now, eh? We'll do a little bit of healing, and then we'll step through. Maximum health, and we're going to save, of course, because you never know what might be on the other side. Well, we can take a guess, it's likely going to be lots of enemies that are going to try and kill us. But the only way we'll know for certain is to step through. And is there one enemy? There's one enemy there. There appear to be multiple enemies in here, but they appear only to be Ettins, and we can take care of Ettins as long as we, oh no wait, there is a scaladar here as well. And we are dead. Did this bring us to exactly the same room as the, other location? It may have done so. But we can take care of Ettins at least. And then we'll have to try and take care of that scaladar. Perhaps having 2 spiritual hammers at this point might be a good idea. That said, we can't really keep that much distance between us and them, so having 2 of them is probably a mistake. We can try it. It might work. Maybe. It can't hurt to try anyway. Alright, we'll cast Spiritual Hammer again. We do have a second casting of it just for this situation. And now, armed with 2 of them, it's time to step through and see what we can do. The answer is that we're going to use this twice, and then very quickly go over here, and this really isn't half as good as having the Wand of Smiting. This is a really bad alternative to having the Wand of Smiting and the Spiritual Hammer. It's just a shame that we can't cast loads of spells as well, that we have to keep switching out the holy symbol to do that. That is unfortunate. But I'm sure we'll find a way to get through this somehow. Maybe. Perhaps. Alright, we're ready to go. Step through here again, Celadran, and hopefully this time you will be successful. Let's very quickly go this way, and very quickly get some distance between us and all of these Ettins. We need to take care of there are a lot of Ettins. There are like 4 Ettins in here. Maybe we should defeat a few of them and then run away. That might actually be a rather good idea. There we go! We defeated a few of them, and one of the Ettins decided to follow us. That's actually not a bad result, because we can then take care of this Ettin, and hopefully afterwards we walked right into that, which is bad. We could have died there. That Etin could have hit us with that club and killed us. Let's back up a little bit more. There we go. Much better. And by much better I mean that we didn't die completely. This is a completely different area that is very similar to that area. And there are only 2 enemies in there now, and we know that at least one of them is a scalander. And so, time to rest, I think. Recuperate, get all of our health back, and recast everything. At least everything isn't actually that much. You know, we don't often actually see the colours of all of these items, because we have true seeing on that much, that everything is mostly blue. Just an observation. So we have Aid and Prayer. We might as well cast Bless as well, even if it does nothing. It can't hurt after all. And now everything is blue once more. And 1 spiritual hammer in our possession. Much better. Now we are ready to have another go at trying to get into this area. Let's give it a go, shall we? The worst thing that could happen is that we die horribly. Alright, we're in, and there is a foe. We really want to, and one of the enemies has followed us, which is good. We really want one of the enemies to follow us. It's the Etin in this instance, which means that we'll have only 1 scalander to take care of once we step through that teleporter again. Also, the Etins take a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Not too much damage, though. And so, only 1 foe remains now. 1 solitary scalander. Note that 1 enemy could kill us just as dead as those 4 Etins could, a lot faster. Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to step through and see if we can avoid getting killed. Actually, it is an Etin, apparently. And that Etin decided not to go through here. Is there an enemy that I haven't spotted? Yes, there's an enemy that I haven't spotted. There is a scalander. So there were about 5 Etins in there, and 1 scalander. Alright, we'll very quickly take care of you, if we can, that is. There we go, you're gone, which means there is only 1 more foe. Or rather, there would only be 1 more foe, if that foe hadn't stepped through the teleporter, and is now waiting for us there. You know what? I'll take that, because that means we don't have to take care of you right now. What we are going to take care of right now is healing. That was exceptionally challenging, and this spell continues to disappoint me. I should just prepare more of the most basic healing spell. It heals just as much, sometimes even more. I bet there are even more of those construct monstrosities on the other side of this door, all waiting to rip me asunder. I don't like constructs. I don't like constructs at all. Constructs are a very difficult foe to defeat. I've never really had much fun facing them. You'll be going through a dungeon and suddenly there'll be a big, nasty-looking construct there, and all of your strategies fly out the window because it's a construct. We're going to back up here, and that is just 1 Etin. You know what? We can take on just 1 Etin. And we're up against the wall here. There we go. You are defeated. And is that a scalander? That is a scalander! Because we couldn't go 1 corridor without fighting a scalander, eh? And we definitely want to avoid that. We also want to avoid you! And we can't entirely avoid you. So we'll just do our best to defeat you as quickly as we possibly can, and there is another enemy. Is that enemy also a scalander? We're going to find out. And you went through that teleporter. I really don't know if you going through that teleporter actually defeats you. I think it might, because it's impossible for that enemy to occupy that square. Which means that that enemy just disappears into nothingness. I'm not going to complain about that. That's very convenient for me, because there is yet another scalander here. There are just absolutely loads of them. They practically infest this level. Practically infest it. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to back up here so that we can throw this at you again. And then we're going to back up like this, and you didn't go through the teleporter. Maybe you knew what would happen if you did. But either way, we can just throw this at you and completely miss, which is unfortunate. Also, these enemies are quite devious when it comes to moving so that we don't get an advantage against them. But we managed to defeat that foe anyway. Anything? Oh, hello! There's another Scalator there! Ha ha! Because why not, eh? Why not have 2 of them? Why not have 5 of them, eh? More Scalators! More Scalators that you can throw any number of spiritual hammers at. You're going to go there. We're going to move very quickly away from you so that we can do this. And you're going to step into there. And are you gone because of that? I think you are gone because of that. Excellent! We've managed to defeat you by taking advantage of the fact that you can't exist in that square along with that enemy. Entirely unintentional, but hey, it works. Now, how are we going to open this one? That's quite a good question. Unless that is a switch. It doesn't look like that's a switch, but then again it also doesn't look like we really need to open that. Also, there's an enemy down that corridor. We need to defeat this enemy because it's a Scalator! Surprising absolutely nobody again. You continue to not surprise me, game, with your liking of throwing Scalators at us. You just can't resist, can you? It's like we could throw a different enemy at you. We could even throw the difficult enemy of this floor at you. But no, we shall throw a Scalator at you. And then the Scalator will get bored of facing you and will walk into that teleporter and die. Also, that is a magical hammer. It's a magical throwing hammer. You know what? Why not hold on to it? It might be useful, as opposed to this corridor, which was entirely useless. You know what? I don't think we've actually encountered anything that interesting here, apart from the fact that there is yet another enemy trying to sneak up on us, and it is yet another Scalator. There are loads of them here. I'd have much preferred Ettins to be the more prevalent foe on this floor. But no, Scalators are the foe. We want to go over here, and maybe if we're lucky, this enemy will go into that teleporter. And guess what? There's another enemy coming this way. And we've got to be very quick about healing. Let's just use heal, shall we? That will fully restore our health so that we're ready to face this Scalator. I bet it's a Scalator. It's a Scalator! Aha! Maybe they just give us a lot of experience. That would be nice. But I don't think we're actually getting any of this experience when they're stepping through that teleporter and dying. Or maybe it doesn't matter how they die, as long as they do die. We're also getting pretty good at avoiding that attack while we're in this room. Let's just do that, and you are dead. And there's another enemy. Is that another Scalator? I highly hope that is not another. Okay, that's just an Ettin. I never thought I'd say that that is just an Ettin and be relieved. This game has a way of surprising me as to which enemies I'm happy to face, and Ettins at the moment, certainly one of them. Alright, that Ettin is gone. Can we finally find out what's down here? There were so many enemies down here, you would think that there were the stairs down in this direction. I can see another enemy too. It's only an Ettin, though. I can take care of an Ettin. I can definitely take care of an Ettin. Alright, I'll just keep my distance. It's a good thing that none of these Ettins have any ranged weaponry. Or even any big rocks that they could throw at me. One of these coins, I suppose I'll hold on to it. They are pretty good at throwing rocks, I think, Ettins. Do we want to go this way? I actually think we want to go this way. Aha! Another Scalator! That is why. We wanted to find that Scalator and defeat the Scalator as quickly as we possibly can. There we go. A few hits there, and we definitely want to avoid that. Oh, wow! That's a lightning bolt, isn't it? I think that's a lightning bolt. That's why it deals so much damage to you. Because every time you try and back up away from it, you get hit by it again. The best thing I probably should have done there was just stay still. That would have certainly made it far better. But alas, we have perished, and I don't think we were too far away. I think we'd maybe cleared out all the enemies in the area that we were about to go into. Ah, here we are. We were just about to clear out all those enemies, all of those Scalators. We could open the other door, but to be honest, opening this door is just much better. Alright, Scalator number 1, there you are. Time to take care of you once more. It's time to repeat history. The history of us fighting those scaladars. At least we figured out what that ability actually is. It's most definitely a lightning bolt. So maybe it actually isn't an instant death effect. Maybe instead, it's just us getting hit by it over and over and over again. That could be it. Also, we're in a little bit of bother because that enemy is sneaking up behind us. That is an Etin. We can take care of an Etin. Also, let's very quickly take care of you. And oh dear, there is another enemy. They definitely were very sneaky when it came to trying to get into this room. This is not good. This is not good at all. We need to move very quickly away from that. We are on 11 hit points. Fortunately, that enemy stepped into the teleporter. So what we're going to do is very quickly heal ourselves completely, and then see if that Etin has remained in this room. By pressing this button, and not the button to check our spells. And no, that enemy has also disappeared into the teleporter. We may not gain experience for that, but you know what? That's absolutely fine. Because there are yet more enemies down here. We just need to find them by stepping out here and daring to move north. There is that hammer. We might as well grab that quickly and head there. And hopefully an enemy decided not to move up there and trap us. There is a lightning bolt. I'm pretty sure at this point that that is a lightning bolt. It might as well be an instant death effect, though. Alright, we'll just very quickly attack you here. Knowing that that's a lightning bolt, we can be far more aggressive in our attacks against the Scalator. But then again, if we're a lot closer to the Scalator, we can't tell if a lightning bolt is being fired at us. And then we'll just take loads of damage. Like there. We'd have took loads of damage had we decided to stick very close to that enemy. We'll just throw this, and that will definitely hit. And we want to move, and we want to attack here very quickly, and turn around, and move again. There we go. Excellent. It's a shame that when it says that you've died due to magic, that it only says magic, and not what spell specifically killed you. That way you could better plan to counter whatever attack was thrown at you. Alright, there's that Etin. We can take care of that Etin, that's fine. And we'll just very quickly defeat you. And I accidentally didn't throw the spiritual hammer. That's okay though, because that foe's dead anyway. Now we know that there is another Scalator down here. We're going to have to be very careful. In fact, I'm going to save. Good idea, I think. Save right now, so that we don't get absolutely obliterated. Actually, saving won't stop us from getting obliterated. It may still happen. There's something there. Ah, it's just a puddle of water. There's also a door, fair enough, and there is there is an invisible wall there. I wasn't paying attention to the map, and nearly got killed by a lightning bolt. There is definitely an invisible wall, and we're going to have to be very careful, because that's where the Scalator came from, the invisible wall. Alright, just watch out for the animation where the lightning bolt gets thrown at us. We just need to be very careful of that, and you are gone. What is in here? And then 50 Scalator. Oh, another Scalator. That is not what you want to see on the other side of a secret wall. It's like, hello, and then doom. Okay, we just want to back up. Where? There we go. There's the spiritual hammer. We really wanted that. And there were 2 hits there. Not bad. Back up a little bit more. And move around this. Oh, move around the corner. Yep, that's definitely a lightning bolt. That definitely hit us like a lightning bolt. And so, I must rescind my statement that said that this was an instant death effect. Instead, it's a lightning bolt, which might as well be an instant death effect in this game when you're backing up away from the lightning bolt. It only makes sense, though, that you try and back up away from something. Let's use Hero's Feast, shall we? It fully restores our hunger, and it also heals us for a small amount of health. We could replace Create Food and Water with that spell. However, that is a 6th level spell, and we could have another heal with it. I do believe it also prevents you from getting poisoned for a short duration. That said, we haven't encountered an enemy for a while that can poison us, apart from the Medusas. I think beyond that it was the Wyverns. They're the only enemies that have been able to poison us up to this point. Not many enemies that deal poison. Enemies that fire lightning bolts and kill us nearly instantly, yes. Enemies that petrify us, certainly. Enemies that paralyze us, we have met a fair few of them. But enemies that just poison us, only two. That is a lot lower than I thought it would be. We could explore round this corner, but that will be for next time. For when we come back, folks, we'll continue to explore this floor. I had a feeling that as we got lower into this dungeon, that it would be more difficult for us to... Ooh, we're already under the influence of the aid spell. It's a good thing that the game at least informs you of that, but that casting is still wasted. As I was saying, I had a feeling that as we got further down into the dungeon, it would take us longer to get through each of the floors, and this floor is certainly one that is taking a long time. That said, we are nearly done. We have this area to explore, and then this area that doesn't seem to be very big, and I imagine it's going to be this area that contains the stairs down. Or maybe it's this area that contains the stairs down. Who can say? Certainly not me, because I haven't found the way to that central selection of corridors yet. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later. If only I could see through those illusionary walls with true seeing. That way I'd be much better able to deal with those weird constructs that happen to be behind every single illusionary wall I've found here. They're just absolutely everywhere. At least I know to hold on to that hammer that could open this door, as opening that door will only make this place even harder to defend. But teleporters make everywhere here more difficult to defend, and I imagine the place that I was in before is now teeming with those, construct monsters. Ah well, I've dealt with them before, and I'll deal with them now. But knowing what that attack does that they fire out will certainly help. A lightning bolt, eh? Perhaps it was an arcane caster that created them. Maybe. So many questions and I have no way to answer them. But I will eventually. I hope anyway. Later.